What's up, guys? Sid here. Today is Saturday, February 24th. Happy Saturday to you guys. I got a treat to share with y'all. You guys have asked for part two from my last Saturday's post, Murder on the Scene with the Lover's Kiss. And I got that part two going for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to get this thing going now. Full disclaimer, this story is just going to focus on the character development and the dialogue between the protagonist and the supporting role of the story. So I want to make sure that you guys understand where this story is going to be taking place and how this story takes part from the first part of the story that I presented last Saturday. So if you don't remember the first part of the last Saturday's post, make sure you go to that post and watch that video before you get to this second part. Without further ado, we're going to get this thing going. After reading this note, two things crossed my mind. First, the suspect and knowing my identity, which is not uncommon by any means, but definitely no walk in the park in obtaining information about a law enforcement without any tangible source of leverage to feed that suspect. Wait, an inside person? A mole within the precinct? Come on, Shaw, don't jump the gun on this investigation. From the looks of things, the suspect has barely scratched the surface, but the thought of a crooked cop or detective is something to incur suspicions. But for now, I will keep this in the back of my mind until I've obtained solid evidence to prove otherwise. The second thing crossed my mind is the name Red Fox with the red lipstick, sealed as the signature from the suspect. The name truly grabs my attention as I go over the name in my mind like a broken record. Cliche, I know, but I know oddly enough that this note is the starting stages of courtship, similar to a love note. Hell, I guess I do have a secret admirer. But why? Why go through all this trouble to take a life just to grab my attention? Hell, I am on a dating app, if that's what the Red Fox wants. But an invitation nonetheless, I am inclined to accept. At least don't have a choice. Back to the matter at hand. The riddle in this note, I was able to decode certain contact clues. Place, dirty secrets, pay for service, clean slate. In appearance and hygiene are one and the same. I had to use the process of elimination, which was my tool, of course, to make sure that in order to solve this riddle, I needed an extra set of pair of eyes. I called upon my colleague, Detective Bates, a rookie in my eyes, to take part in this investigation. He's an amateur at best, but he is textbook savvy, unlike no other. His track history, though, is a bit of a gray area to me. But nonetheless, he is a good cop, and I have my trust. To me, becoming a detective is a gift and a curse when shouldering the burdens of lives in all investigations. And it's our duty to ensure the evidence reduces other lives taken from their loved ones. But strangely, conveniently, his name was brought to my desk 2 weeks prior to receiving the file of this suspect in particular. Now, looking back at it, it does sound suspicious to think about, but for now, Red Fox, I'll play your game. Shortly after, Detective Bates arrived on the scene, entering the room without looking at my direction, focusing his efforts on the crime scene, analyzing the body, making notes for clues due to the observation in the scene. As I said before, an amateur at best. He directs his attention to me. He says, "Good evening, sir." By the tone of your voice on the phone call, I was certain the situation was in dire need of my assistance. But the look of this crime scene, I would say otherwise. Any particular reason why I'm here, sir? I replied, "Take a look at this note and tell me what you can assess from this note." With hesitation in his eyes, he added, "Well, what would I find, detective?" I said, "Hopefully, if your answer is my hunch, then we have our answer to the clue in this note. As Bates assessed the note, he quickly responded, "This is a riddle." I replied, "How observant of you, Bates. But yes, it is a riddle. But can you tell me about the note? What can you assess from it?" He's scrambling through the note. He says, "Well, somebody likes you, of course. And the place that this suspect is referring about is the laundromat." He then added, look at the context in this riddle. Dirt, clean, service. The laundromat is certainly the answer in this riddle. I said, "Let's hope you are correct, detective." "But why the laundromat?" Bates added. "We won't know until we find out, Bates." I told Detective Bates to call for backup and to meet us at the laundromat location on 28th and Stanford Boulevard. I then instructed the officers in the crime scene to gather all evidence and bag and tag the body before reporters make their grand entrance. I also instructed to send out a coroner and forensic teams out here on our John Doe. To be continued. So that was a long-winded one. There's definitely some work that needs to be done with this, but I wanted to make sure that you guys get an understanding of how this story is taking place from Detective Shaw entering the crime scene and upon him analyzing the whole crime scene, the body, the note in particular, and his relationship with his colleague, Detective Bates. Let me know what you guys think of this storyline. Like I said, this second part is something definitely worth to think about. And if you guys like this, like, comment a part 3, and I will make sure you guys have that part 3 going. Until then, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will talk to you guys soon.